Mary J. Blige made the leap from Grammy Award-winning singer to Oscar-nominated actress, and now she's got her hit Umbrella Academy on Netflix. Mary J. Blige is the perfect example of how some celebrities have come on the scene with one talent that put them on the map, but then used another to switch lanes and succeed beyond expectations. It's time for a celebrity crossover.
Well, first up is Will Smith. That's right. You guys know him from the late 1980s as a big rapper who came on the scene with Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff, right? Then they turned that into a hit TV show based around him called The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and it was the start of his acting career. He went on to be nominated for 2 Oscars and a huge movie star, doing blockbuster films like Ali, Men in Black, Pursuit of Happiness, Independence Day, and Bad Boys. Now, actually, Bad Boys 3 is in production right now, so he keeps it going, honey.
He does. All right. Well, next up is Lady Gaga. So, Lady Gaga, she always dreamed of having a singing career. Clearly, we all know she made that happen, right? Yeah. So her debut album, The Fame, included hits Just Dance and Poker Face, but then she made the leap over to acting. She actually won the Golden Globe for American Horror Story. I remember when she won that. Well, most recently, we all know that she co-starred with Bradley Cooper in A Star Is Born. She won an Oscar for Best Song, but she was also nominated in the acting category.
All right, we can't forget about rapper Drake. So before we knew Drake as a rapper, we know him as a superstar, rap superstar. He sells out arenas all over the world. But before that, he was acting in Degrassi, The Next Generation. He does a teen drama.
Drake is Jimmy from Degrassi. That's how I still know him.
That's how a lot of folks knew him. But he started that in the early aughts, in the early 2000s, and now he's a music superstar.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, another celeb who made a successful crossover, good old Arnold Schwarzenegger. You guys know he was a Mr. Universe. Now, he's been an actor and a box office hit for more than 20 years, appearing in films such as Total Recall, Predator, and probably giving one of the most famous lines in the movie ever, "I'll be back," in The Terminator, before switching over to politics, which he had to say, "I'll be back," because in 2003 he replaced then Governor of California, Gray Davis, and then came back and was reelected for a full term until 2011. Way to go, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay, well, last but certainly not least is Ken Jeong, okay? So we all know him from Community and from The Hangover, of course, but did you guys know he actually started off as a doctor, okay? No. So he had his own sitcom on ABC called Dr. Ken. He created that. He was a writer, executive producer, and star. That's TV, but he created it because it was based on his own life.
Yeah!
I know. Jeez, you need a doctor for that. No. So he actually was a practicing doctor in California before he made the leap to acting, and while he was a doctor, he did stand-up in his spare time.
I love that.
I know.
Let's start with our Saturday Night Live SmackDown. When WrestleMania takes over New York this weekend, SNL stars Colin, Jost, and Michael Che are getting into the ring to face off against this guy. That's right, he's 385-pound pro wrestler, a mountain of a man, Braun Strowman. Braun. Carlos, what do you think of that, Braun? And what do you think Colin and Michael are thinking, even challenging this guy?
I think that might be your kind of man.
Oh, Braun. No, definitely not.
I'm kidding. Anyway, but the beef is, it's a result of a simmering feud between Braun and the comedians. So here's what happened. It started last month when Colin insulted Braun backstage at WWE Monday Night Raw in Philly. So when Colin questioned whether or not wrestling was actually real, here's what happened. This is what Braun told him. Take a look.
What do you think?
Wow.
Yeah, he wasn't kidding around. He showed him how real it is.
I'm trying to tell you.
Anyway, but the feud intensified from there. And last week, Braun issued a challenge while video chatting with the comedian, with Colin and Michael from a show in Boston. Take a look at that.
Michael, you went to Instagram the other week and said that somebody needed to take care of this, whether it be emotionally, financially, or physically. I choose option number 3.
Wow. Now, when I see that, I do think maybe he is my kind of man. Talking to me like, Bevy, come here.
See, I know what you're
Yeah. Carlos.
You can't put Bevy in a box. I do know that. But anyway, but the comedians actually accepted Braun's challenges. So they're going to face off with him at MetLife on Sunday. They're going to need it, so good luck to them because he's known in the wrestling world for moves like the spine buster and the flapjack.
That doesn't sound fun to me.
Oh, it sounds like a Saturday night to me, young Elizabeth.
Actress Sanaa Lathan is having a moment. Not only does she star in Showtime's hit series The Affair, but she's also in Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone reboot. Now, Bevy, you just sat down with her this week. She's an amazing actress. I know you spoke to her about that. But I have to ask, did you ask her about Beyonce Bitegate?
I talked to her about her craft, darling. That's right. She stopped by Bevelations. She was there to talk about her new HBO film, NativeSon, starring Ashton Sanders and Kiki Lane. She plays Ashton's mom, and she does beautiful work in that film. She also was there to talk about her role in The Affair, which is the Showtime series, as well as the Twilight Zone episode that she's in, which you know is the Jordan Peele reboot.
Yes.
Now, I did actually ask her about Bitegate, but not specifically about Bitegate in the way that you're thinking, in a salacious way. I was asking her about how she handles social media. Because when she became a star, loving basketball, like that was the late 90s, early 2000s, there was no social media. And so, you know, you dealt with rumors, but you dealt with them very differently than you do now. So she said, she doesn't let the rumors bother her. She lets them roll over because she knows eventually they will go away. So she has a very mature way of looking at things. Now, we also talked about the fact that when she starred in the Netflix film, Nappily Ever After, she actually cut off all her own hair. And she shared with me what it felt like to do that. Let's take a listen.
I went bald, and I surprisingly loved it. I loved it so much. I felt free. I felt
sexy, I bet.
Weirdly sexy. Like, it was like one of those things. I had every ex that I had ever, you know, dealt with calling me, like asking me if they could come rub it. I was like, well, damn. I was like, it's like that.
Yo, Sanaa's had some good boyfriends, so the fact that they were all calling back, Al Sanaa.
Well, I cannot wait to listen to the entire interview. Bevy.
Kylie Jenner's baby, Stormi, might not be able to say mommy yet, but based on her purse collection, she can probably say Birkin. Now, this little 1-year-old already has a handbag collection worth tens of thousands of dollars. Let's break it down in Fashion Friday. Yeah. Now, Kylie's Insta is filled with images of young Stormi carrying a lot of designer bags. Now, she's one and she's carrying bags. We crunched the numbers, and they tally up to nearly $30,000. Let's take a look at some of her most prized possessions. On Valentine's Day, she rocked this little Jacquemus bag, which is valued at $745. Take that in. Now, there's the mini Louis Vuitton purse that she showed off on Instagram in January, which is worth $1,100.
Wow.
Oh, wow, okay? And finally, there's Stormi's piece de resistance, this hot pink little baby Birkin, which is probably worth more than your car, average American. Its estimated value is $27,000. Now that's rich.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stormi, she still has ways to go before she catches up. She's very cute. I kind of have a little bit of an issue with a 1-year-old having
a $27,000 bag.
Yeah, I have an issue with that. Yeah. But she really has ways to go until she catches up with her mom, Kylie Jenner. So Kylie Jenner, her interior designer, actually revealed that she has over 400 designer handbags in her own closet in her Hidden Hills mansion, and that the collection is reportedly worth over $1 million.
Oh, I believe that.
Just for purses.
Yeah, I believe that.
Well, she is. Forbes did list her as the, what, self-described billionaire?
Yep,
self-made billionaire.
Yeah.